Well, thank you for coming on my show, Mr. Brett. And what attracted you to begin your acting career?
Oh, the acting career. So when I was really good question, and thank you for having me on the show first and
You're very
foremost.
welcome. Thank you for coming on.
Acting wise, so when I was 14 years of age, I was in high school and I really had zero interest in acting. I just know that I had way too much energy for normal life, and I took a drama class just so I could do nothing. That's what I signed up for. And then lo and behold, there was a play, and the teacher, Mrs. Scoville, she approached me and she said, "Hey, Brett, would you like to go audition?" And I said, "Absolutely." And I didn't show up. I just didn't go. And the following day, they had callbacks. And she goes, "Brett, we didn't see you at auditions." And I go, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." And she goes, "Well, if you want to come to callbacks, there's a spot for you." And so I went to callbacks, and my first role ever was Officer O'Hara in the play Arsenic and Old Lace. It was a small role, but it meant everything to me. And it was the first time that I got to crack a script and understand what was going on. So from that moment, I became obsessed. I wanted to tell stories and feel that same energy that I felt when I was on stage. Being able to be somebody else and feel those emotions. So then I dove into
Hmm.
it as hard as I possibly could, and I sacrificed a lot of good times for it. So, yeah.
That's a wonderful story background. Um, Now I let's go to straight big news. It's coming out on Netflix, of course. Your film that you were in, and so excited for you. And you played
Thank you.
the Grunt. I'm saying it wrong. Please correct me. You're playing the commander, with lots of A-list actors and actresses in this film.
Mhm.
Um, and it's called a Rebel Room. Well, English Rebel Moon, Part One, A Child of Fire. And it, of course, it's being on TV commercials, it's being promoted nationwide, and the preview is amazing. So what can you tell the audience briefly about this film?
um, I cannot say very much, unfortunately.
It's
I had to
okay.
sign an NDA. There was a lot of contracts that I had to go through, and I was vocally told not to. So, but I mean, I can give you a brief description. It's all over. Cora is the lead actress, played by Sofia Boutella, who is a joy to work with. She's very sweet, but she is incredibly professional. And I've never seen anybody move on a set like she does. I mean, it
Right.
is so natural, so
Mhm.
physical. Um,
And of
so like
course,
it stars her, and I
right.
mean, small description: bad guys come, and
Right, right. And I
and she
understand you.
has to gather up some people and then go and face the bad guys. I mean, that's really
No,
all
and
that I can.
like I said, I totally understand, Brett. You really can't go into details. I totally understand. That's my fault. I apologize. But again, it's amazing. The trailer is amazing. Like I said, you play with Sophia, Gina, and all these A-list actors that's in this film. So congratulations. Can't wait for
Thank
it to
you.
come out.
It was an
Um,
absolute learning experience to watch the people who I studied, to see them in action, and to be able to be a part of it and to
mhm.
be there. It was a wonderful experience. Zach is really fun to work with. He is hands on, down and dirty, right next to you in the trenches the entire time.
Mhm.
He was on cam for a lot of. I mean, he was on cam a lot. So it was really nice to see how he operates and to know that we were all in this together. There was never a feeling of hierarchy. It was, we're making this film. Let's go. That energy throughout, and everybody was sweethearts. So definitely go out and see it. The trailer is just a hint of what.
Yes, I can't wait.
Yeah.
It gave me my hair standing up when I
Yeah, I
saw
mean,
it.
I knew what it was, but even when I saw the trailer, I was like, "Oh, this is pretty good."
Amazing. And again, I do apologize. Like I said, I know about the rules, but I was kind of hoping you can tell details.
Unfortunately, this one, I mean, other films I'm able to release a little bit.
You know, I
Um,
no, I like again, I totally understand, Brett. So
yeah.
I apologize, but
Oh, no, 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 no. It's a good question.
now, 2017, you were in the Beyond the Trek,
Yep.
and then that was a TV series. You were in as also as cousin. You played Kelly, and
Mhm.
that was 2014, 2015. And all your acting roles you've done, all the way up till this big film.
Mhm.
Did you ever saw yourself being on a Netflix film?
So going back to when you asked me if I, what got me into acting, that following year in high school, I took a film study class. So I started to watch, a lot of those films that were made in the 50s and 60s, and I fell in love with that. And I think the little boy inside of me dreamed of being able to be, you know, on there. And so it was always a dream, but I never said I have to do that. It was a if that organically happens, we'll go that direction. If it doesn't, that's okay too. So it's not a make or break in my opinion. It's just a more of a are these good people I want to work with? And in this case, with this Netflix film, they were more than good people. They were amazing people, and they really take care of you. So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I foresaw myself being able to do some work storytelling. I knew that I could do that. And so that was my goal when coming here was to tell some stories,
Mm-hmm.
to touch people. So that's my goal. Now that I know if it's gonna be with Netflix or Hulu or whatever, I have no
Right.
idea.
I totally understand. Now, what acting role have you found the most challenging and why?
Wow. Um, I would have to say back. Oh, I would have to say recently, one of the more challenging in a different challenge way was I did a short film called Career Day.
Hmm.
And it's about an old band like NSYNC, who they come back together and they play or they perform in front of a kindergarten class. So I had to play one of the band members, and I mean I am over 30 and I had to learn how to dance like a Backstreet Boy or an NSYNC all over again. Like I used to dance like that when I was younger, but to actually do it now, it was really difficult. Like to get my body to be a Backstreet Boy. I think physically that was really demanding. So I gotta say that one for me because we were actually dancing.
Hmm.
That was because it was consistent. It was like baking, where you have to be on point. If you're not 100% on point, it doesn't look good. So I think that was really challenging. I mean, Rebel Moon was challenging, but that was a script that it spoke to me, so it was relatively
Hmm.
just go and do, just go and do. Whereas where dancing is not a go and do, that's
Wow.
a go and
And when
fall.
when did that come out?
It's not out yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I literally have like 5 projects that are just sitting. So
I thought it was out.
yeah.
You know, had to ask that. Now, what is your greatest accomplishment so far as of today as being an actor?
Being an actor,
Hmm.
still loving it. That's my greatest accomplishment.
Hmm.
Like, and I know that that sounds like a cliche answer, but I am scared of the day that I don't wake up and have passion for it. I don't want it
Right.
to be a job.
And
Um,
that's a really good answer. I'm sorry. That's a really good answer because to get into this industry, you have to have passion. And and it's tough. It really is tough because um and you can follow up to this as well, but when you audition for roles, and it's tough because you have to be used to being denied or not been denied. And I think me personally, I could be wrong, but a lot of child actors and teenagers may have harder time accepting being denied because it's hard being denied. They're asking, why was I denied? And it's like, oh, it's my hair look. Oh, they didn't like my glasses. Or it's just all this stuff. And it's different because as adults, you can handle it easier. And I could be saying this wrong, you can correct me, but it just seems like, it's you have to have a passion. That's why a lot of teenagers and a lot of kids who are trying to get into this entertainment industry, you have to have a thick skin, if I'm wording this right.
Um, I had a gentleman who he was talking on the phone to his children, and he spoke to them with such an endearing voice that I haven't, you don't hear that every day. And so I stopped the man. Awkward, I know. And I said, "Sir, why are you so nice to your children?" Because I truthfully wanted to know. And he said, "Exactly what you just asked. You asked the question, why?" And I think with everything in life, such as acting, you need to have the correct why lined up. And if your why is, I want to make a lot of money, or I want the fame, or I want the gratification that I did it, then your why may be skewed. So for
Hmm.
me, it really is all about my why. Like, do I love this? And the moment that I stop loving it is the moment I can no longer do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is something that has been, it pulls me. Um, it pulls, and it is a mutual. For me, acting is a relationship, and I've explained this to a few people that if I give, it'll give back. It's but how much are you willing to give? Um, a lot of people I hear rush their auditions, or I don't care. It's whatever. They're just worried about my look. And everybody has all these things. And if you take all that negativity, you put it over there and you go, what does the script need right now? That's all you need to do.
Hmm.
And it just, we get in our head and we make up excuses, or we create dimensions of lies that aren't even true. Like,
Right.
it's not as, it has nothing. What I had to learn is that it has nothing to do with me. Nothing. Yes, we're
Right.
casting you,
That's a
but it
good
really
that's a
has
good
nothing to do with
response.
you.
Yes.
Yeah. So when I found it, when that clicked, and I was like, "Oh, you guys don't care about me. Only I care about me. You care about your movie. I care about me. Cool. Now let's do some work." And once I figured that, it's weird for the mind to have to cog that. But once I got that, and you somehow got to take your ego, put it on the table, smash it, and then you know what you're doing. You got to get rid of you if
Right.
you're in the way. Not you.
And that's a good point what you're saying, because when you think about that, that's what your brain is doing, it's that negativity. But when you talk about what you're saying, is it's actually true. You got to focus on that. And it's the passion, it's the love.
Well, it's like starting your job. Like, say if you got, say, a secretary position at a job, right? Your boss walks by, and the entire time you're like, he's walking by. Am I doing this right? If I'm typing, I'm typing. Is that really, are you doing your job, or are you trying to impress the man or woman that's walking by? Like that, there's different things going on. So when
Hmm.
you realize that what you do is just about your job, it makes your
Right.
job easier.
It's
Because
not to
really that
impress
secretary
your boss,
is
it's your
typing.
job.
Right, right. So
Right.
that's a weird, you got to get that in the head somehow. You got to believe it, and you got to believe
Hmm.
yourself, and you got
And
to.
one thing I notice is that when you're saying that, is it's like a real life, or is even if we're not in the entertainment industry, you may be working in the office, and you can people watch, and you do see people going, okay, let me, and you're like, wait a minute. It's kind of like, okay, I know what you're doing. So I totally get what you're saying, 100%.
Right.
And it's just, what do you call it, the ego, try to get rid of the ego and just.
And I mean, what you see on paper in the films that you asked me about are the 2%, meaning you
Right.
don't see the nose.
Hmm.
I mean, I think, what was it, another actor and I, um, one for every 100. So I pretty much book one out of every 100 auditions. Now you do the
Right. And
math.
I've heard that because a lot of actors who I've interviewed, They told me it's 1 out of 100,
Yeah.
and it's just amazingly, I shouldn't say amazes me, but shocks me. It's 1 out of 100. But
Well, and
but
that's
it
why.
comes down to pardon me, it comes down
No,
to
no,
your
go ahead,
point.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
It comes down to your point, says it's a passion. This is what I love doing. And if you don't love what you're doing, then why pursue it?
Yeah. One of the best things I read is, I think it was Michael Keaton, um, once said that the minute that you get the audition, that's the job. So do that job, and then if something happens after that, cool. But that's the job. You
Right.
know, the audition is the job. So that's what I've had to tell myself, like, oh cool, I got a job, I got to do it. And you just can't think about money, you can't think about the what ifs, you just go, here's my job, let's do it. And then if something else happens, that's great. But if not, I am
Hmm.
so thankful that these words got to come through me. Thank you so much for allowing that. And if I just continue down that route, good things happen. The moment that I go, but what about me? Then we have issues, you know. And so my wife,
Right.
I'm married, I have my wife purposely keep me and my ego on check at all times, because I want to stay balanced. You know what I mean?
Hmm. And you can correct me, but I heard it is so hard to be balanced sometimes. Is that correct?
Well, we are actors, so it is. It's probably, you know, I work on my craft a lot, but I think even more so is I have to work on me.
Hmm.
You know, because when you are prepared and when you're ready, you are reactive. You know, because we're trained to be reactive. And so you can't go in society and be reactive. We have something wrong going on. So I, you know, if I leave the gym, I come home, and those minutes before I walk into my apartment, I think about my wife, and I go, I'm going to need to speak to my wife, and I need to know, I need to be aware of how where I am right now.
Hmm.
You know, because am I in my head? Am I thinking about this character? Am I emotional because of something else? And so I pretty much I have to take off the artist and put him aside when my wife and I are having, because then I'm a husband.
Hmm.
And then, you know, from 9 to 5, I get to put that mask back on, and then I do my passion. Then it's back off, you know, and if I don't do that, they will bleed, and
Right.
that's not healthy. You know, I can't bring my wife life into my acting world, and I can't expect her to live in my land either.
Right. And the reason I ask you that because I go through the same thing. I'm not married, but not yet. But but I understand me personally, you have that ego. Not ego, you have that moment. You have to balance. And I totally understand because you put on the hat and then you right before you go through the door, you have to take off that hat and think about, okay, let's stop. You can't talk to this person. Wait, because you don't want the person looking at you like, why are you talking to me like you're on a set or you're somewhere?
Yeah,
And you're like, oh, sorry. Let me step outside, take off the hat, and go back in. And then you're like, okay, sorry. Let me talk to you the way, because people will be like, and I think my follow-up questions for anybody, and I ask all my actors this, is that have you ever had a moment in your acting career that you had a hard time getting out of your role, getting
yeah,
out of the hat?
yeah. So I did a short film recently called The Deal, and we're actually having to do another version of it. But you know, that was a first time in a while that I did play a bad guy. So, and that's what I've been doing a lot lately. So I had to allow that to come out, and I really didn't know exactly what was going to come out until I did it. Um, and I realized, like, whoa, that's a dark area. But I realized that that dark area is deeply a part of me. because of what you and I previously talked before about this is we our experiences in life, we don't get rid of them, they become a part of us and we deal with them.
Hmm.
So for me it was, well, there is all this dark that I need to get out somehow, and how do I, how do I tool it? And I think because I thought about it so hard and I chiseled away at it so much that it was really like I left set just in a manipulative mindset, like what can I
Hmm.
get now? And then I realized, whoa, this is back. And I understood that I had to, because this is the first time that I've been married and act. So since then I really decided, okay, since that film, I'm probably gonna play more bad guys. I need to figure out where and how. So now usually the drive home is where I put on, lately it's either very extreme rock or classical. Depends. But and then on my drive, it's like don't try to let any of the traffic mess with you. Just calm yourself down before you talk to people, because I don't want to bring that energy into anybody. Even before you and I talked today, I got on a little bit earlier just so I can come and I could focus and you and I could talk, and I wasn't thinking about the character. You know what I mean?
I
I was just,
appreciate that
yeah,
100%.
it's
And it's
real.
a good point. The music helps. It helps me as well. Helps people
Oh,
calm
dude, yeah.
down. And and it's just it's that moment. And I had to ask you that because a lot of actors who get into deep roles, they have a hard time getting out of that role. They, when they producer or director says cut, and you see that actor or actress in that moment still, they're like, okay, we need to walk to that person and say, hey, and then a lot of them say, I need to get out, go outside, or if they're inside a building or they're outside, but they're like, I need to have a moment. I need to figure out what just happened. And
For
they're like,
sure.
whoa, that's not me. What happened? Right. And it's like emotional or anger, or they don't, this one of those two roles are like, wait a minute, what just happened to me? Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a
And I
lot of
think,
the actor friends are like, whoa, that is not you, or wow, that was intense, but what just happened? We had to get you out, we had to shake you up. What happened? And what's so interesting, and you can confirm this, is like a lot of people, when they get out, once they get out of that, they come back and they're like, I really don't really remember what happened. I was just in that intense moment.
yeah.
And you can you can laugh, but you're an actor, so maybe you can
No,
respond to
no,
that.
because you're tapping into all the thoughts that we have. And I mean, I guess the one to talk about is one of the harder things. Rebel Moon was difficult because there was so much going on set.
Hmm.
So I do a lot of dramas. I do a lot of intense, and usually it is, not a whole lot of people. It's settings that are there for you. In this situation, there was literally around 100 people in suits and stuff moving, and the whole thing I was there's the thing that I was in that also moves. So when everything is moving and when things are green, it is really hard to, so you either go full or you gotta kind of, so and it was and it you got to figure out what you're shutting off. What are you sacrificing? And for me, it was like, well, I'm going to pay attention to you, and that's it. And everybody else, so sorry. And then you just got to focus in. So I think a lot of developing your ability to focus and listen also as an actor is really important. I think a lot of people they forget about that. They're like, no, I'm a really good actor. That's great, but do you know how to listen and just do nothing? Because a lot of your time is just listening and making sure that you know exactly what you're going to hit. Because if you don't,
Hmm.
you're letting down 150 people in 1 second.
Right.
And so, time, it's all about time. So instead of doing it perfect, I started to just do it the right way.
Hmm.
And then and then organically you're able to get to where you need to be. Yeah.
Yes, that's true, 100%. And it's just have to, focus on that person, that person. And you
It's
have
so
to, it's hard because you're like, wait, I have to focus on that person and that person and that person. And it's like, wait, I have all these people, but how do I focus on this and this person? But you have a right, you have to do it. You have to just, look at that
Yeah, and
person.
luckily I got, in that film, I got to be in my trailer for a long time. So that was nice because it was like nobody, nobody, nobody. And then they come and they get you, and then they bring you. So there was no, I didn't have to really talk to anybody along my
Right.
my trip from trailer to set. And that's what I love. I was really worried that someone's gonna interrupt.
Hmm.
But so pretty much the moment that I leave the trailer is when I had to be in character, and there was
Right.
no questioning it.
Hmm.
So it was,
That's awesome.
but again, going back to what you said, is like I've been going over it in my head, and I'm like, man, there's a lot of that I don't remember. Hope it looks okay. Because I was so into it, and because
Right.
we're kids and we're having fun. Like that's what we're
Yeah,
doing. That's all it
100%.
is.
Yeah,
So
100%.
yeah.
By the way, I did when I watched you, you don't wear your glasses. I could be wrong, but it's you look different without your glasses.
Oh, so I have a stigmatism in my right eye. It's really, really bad. So I'm legally blind here, and
Ooh.
this one's okay. So I wear them if I have to see the screen and stuff.
Hmm.
But I've tried contacts, and my gosh, it hurts for some reason. It hurts me
Ooh.
really bad.
Hmm.
So I use this, but sometimes when I'm acting, I just can't see you. It's just what it is.
Do other people know?
No. Well, yeah. I mean, my team and my people, and sometimes for auditions, I'll pop out the lenses if it's kind of a little more of a scientist or a doctor. I'll include them, but I've never been cast with them. No, nobody doesn't want the glasses for some reason.
That's strange because a lot of TV shows that you see like they do wear glasses.
I've tried the glasses. I've grown the beard out. I'm only booking when I have clean shaven, and I don't know why. There's so much I don't know.
I, I do see you playing a detective role, to be honest. I really
Yeah.
do.
So I don't know if you saw, but when my wife and I flew back out here for the second time, I did a documentary where I played a detective.
Okay.
So I did 2 episodes of that. So that was crazy because we just got here. We moved into our apartment. I had an audition the following day, and I booked that. So then I was on set. So it was really crazy that I like the first week out here. It just was this wild, like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Where am I? Am I doing this now? And then it was just, oh, okay. So then that's when I started going down detective route, and then it kind of led into villains. So villain, detective, I don't, you know what I mean? It's just I've been fortunate to where I've been getting a lot of bad guys, a lot of good guys. Even I've auditioned for some drag stuff for some shows, so it's just all over the gambit right now. It's
Yeah,
fun.
me personally, just look at you. You look like a detective. You look like a person that could be. I know it sounds
You
crazy,
said it
right?
a second ago. Now you can't unsee it. This guy is a detective. He's
Yeah,
detecting something right
you have the
now.
glasses. You have the glasses. You have the
Okay.
look.
Is that better? Am I still a detective?
You never know. Maybe you'll be on the show 911 or
It's interesting.
um,
That's one of the more interesting. You briefly mentioned young actors or teen actors and doing well at that age, and there is definitely, because I did this when I was younger too, and there's definitely a difference as far as your looks go and what you're used for, and how as you get older
mhm.
you're there you gain gravity. And when you gain gravity, then you're able to play maybe lawyer, not the boyfriend. I got the boyfriend a million times, and that's great. But you can start the lawyer, a doctor, and then they're like, wow, these people actually think I'm a doctor. So it's really nice to know that as we age, gravity and texture starts to kick in. So I love seeing. That's why I think aging is beautiful, because we get to see you really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I totally agree with you. So I know a lot of people might be curious. What do you do yourself for fun when you're not acting?
Um,
If you
so
mind
I
me
do.
asking.
No, no, I'm just thinking. So I do have two. Can you hold on real fast?
Yes.
Okay, we got things to do. So first order of fun, this guy. This is Reese. This is my wife and I, Catherine, our 7-month-old Boston Terrier. And then the other one is on the couch. She's old, Violet. But for fun, we do spend a lot of time taking care of these guys, going to the park. I'm really big into nature. So my wife and I, we try to go to gardens, we try to go on hikes, we try to just get out of the city. So pretty much everything opposite of what you think. A lot of people think, oh, you stay in the city, you have fun and party. No, nope. I leave, I get out, I enjoy my family, and then when everybody is asleep, I play video games. I'm a huge Counter-Strike player. I don't know if you know what that game is or not. It's a computer game.
No, but I've heard of it, to be honest.
Yeah. So I used to play on some teams. I used to be really into it. So I've
For a minute,
learned.
I thought you were going to say like Madden or NBA.
Oh no, no. So, but with Counter Strike, at first I didn't like the fact that I was playing video games. I thought, what am I doing, wasting my time playing video games, like we all do. But then I became to realize that when I didn't play, I was stressed. So it is my area where I can engage in flow state. And when you engage in flow state, you release a lot of the cortisol and a lot of the stress hormones. And so now, usually at night, I'll get in a 30 minutes of Counter Strike, and then I fall right to sleep. It's weird, I know, but it's my fun.
Wow.
You know,
Yes, that's true. I love hiking as well too, so we're on the same page. I love
gotta
it.
do it. Gotta go. Gotta do
Yes,
it.
hiking is amazing. Brett, it's been an honor. Thank you so much for being on my show. And
But thank you so much for having
I
us.
loved your deep discussion, all this, about the acting and, the passion, why, and all these stuff, and, the deep moment of everything we discussed out. It's powerful, and I learned a lot from you. So thank you.
Well, thank you for saying that. But I would like to reiterate that when you obviously heard it, but it is not just the acting world that needs a why or needs that passion. In
Hmm.
my opinion, whether you make paper or you're a lawyer or whatever it is, if you carry around that passion in your pocket, your day is going to go by a lot better, and you're going to meet more people who are also passionate. And you're probably going to excel in your job because you love doing it.
Amen. And I totally agree with you, 100%. Passion is the thing, and if you love what you're doing, and if you wake up and you still
Yep.
love what you're doing, then that's amazing. That's
Yep.
100%.
And also, what's wonderful is when you see your friends and family acknowledge that you love doing it.
Yes.
Like my friends just think of me as a nerd who just loves acting, nothing more. You know what I mean? There's nothing special. It's just,
No.
like a NBA basketball player, like Kobe Bryant. Like the dude was at practice, and I mean, you just gotta love what you do, and
Yes.
decide what you want to do and love it fully. You love it. You love licking, but but no, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. And again, congratulations on your Netflix film. I can't wait for it to come out. And when it comes out, I
Yeah,
will.
if anybody sees this, you can get tickets to the Egyptian Theater. I don't know how many are left. I got mine, but it'll be playing at the Egyptian Theater also in Paris, and then Canada. So there's a few big theaters that it'll be at. So if you have an opportunity to grab those tickets, I would recommend it. I think it's gonna look great on the big screen.
Yes, everyone, please go see this film and please watch it on Netflix. And Brett, when it comes out on Netflix, I'm definitely going to have you back on my show. We can talk more in
Yeah,
depth
yeah,
about
yeah.
this
I know.
film.
I
I know
deeply
you want to. I know you do. And I understand it's okay.
let's just say
Respectfully,
there's
I
a
really
lot
do.
of pew pew going on. There's a lot of oh no stuff
Right.
happening.
When I saw the trailer, I was like, wow, 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 wow. And then when I found out you were in this film, my hair sticked up even more because it's like amazing because I love everybody in the entertainment industry. I support everybody, and especially if they're on Netflix or not, it's just so awesome to see people who've been on my show or who have not been on my show yet be on films like this, and love to have them back. And they talk about this, all the stuff they did. So I'm so happy, so proud of you, Brett.
Exactly, yeah, for exactly what we do, and I think coming out of the strike is there's a lot of questions on what do the actors really do? What is your job?
Mm-hmm.
And so I would love to, after the movie hits, I can discuss what's the job
Yes,
entail.
please do. I would love to.
What does this job entail? Because it's not, we talked previously, it's not all, it's not all luxurious, that's for sure.
Right. I appreciate it.
No
My
problem.
show was on pause because the strike now is back, and
I know, I'm excited for you.
yes, thank you. And I can't wait to have you back again. Congratulations. And
Absolutely.
once again, once the film's out,
Yes,
I'm
yes.
definitely
So
gonna have you back.
22nd, and then I think April, what? Forgot. I should know this, right? April something. It's something. You'll look it up.
Something next year.
Put on the
Yes.
screen. April this, right?
Next year or sometime soon, I'll
I
have you
have to think
back.
about it, so I'm not staring at my calendar.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you again, Mr. Brett, and I
Thank you
look
very
forward to
much.
having you back when this film's out.
All right. Have a beautiful day. Thank
You
you.
too. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.